Simplifying my life has brought me countless benefits and positive changes. But sometimes I wonder if I'm doing minimalism wrong because I haven't gotten rid of 90% of my stuff, or it hasn't fixed every problem in my life. So unlike what I thought at the beginning of this journey, I guess simplifying isn't so black and white after all. That's probably because simplicity means different things to different people. Simple life and minimalism are very subjective things because they are based on your values, priorities, your location in the world, your culture, your past experiences, your current life circumstances. So we cannot say that it's the same thing for everybody. Many associate simplicity with achieving emotional and mental clarity, and I think that that's the common factor. Reducing stress and finding peace in everyday life, but then how you go about it can vary a lot. For some, simplifying could mean reducing physical clutter from their homes, but for others, it could mean simplifying their schedules or commitments, have less responsibilities outside of your home or your work. During your free time, you want to do completely other things. And sometimes I get comments from people that don't really agree with my view on this. They have said, for example, that if you are a minimalist, you cannot have any hobbies in your life. And then there was this one person that said, any costs that are not absolutely necessary for life can be trash canned. And personally, I disagree with these comments, but that's their view on simplicity, minimalism, simplifying life. And if you feel that it's a smart move and appropriate, you can always share your views. When you see a comment like this or somebody gives you a comment in real life, you can share your view, share your opinion, and start a friendly conversation from there. I think what I responded to this person was that I can survive life with very few things, but for me, it's not about survival. Minimalism is not about surviving life. It's about being intentional with what I let in my life and focus on bringing quality things and quality moments that bring long-lasting joy and peace rather than this very short-term pleasure or satisfaction that could come from acquiring some fancy things that are valued in our consumerist society. So while minimalism doesn't fix maybe every problem that you have in your life, it makes life feel much lighter, I would say. The second surprising thing that I learned after simplifying life was that I noticed I am comparing myself to others so much less. I'm focusing much more on my own journey. How am I feeling? What am I doing? And of course, I can't say that this is 100% gone, but let's say if before I was measuring myself against others every day or every week, now I do it every month, probably not even every month, like every 6 months or something. So the difference in that is huge. I have learned what are my own values, and that living aligned with those brings me so much more happiness and joy than trying to look cool in other people's eyes. And it's so liberating to focus on the personal growth and happiness over trying to keep up with the others if you feel that they are ahead of you in life. And also I have to admit, my radar for these show-off people, I don't know really how to describe them, but you understand what I mean. People who need to show that they have something or show that they are better than they actually are. This radar has improved a lot. It's so much easier to notice these red flags in other people when I have things together in my own life. And by the way, if you're wondering where I am, since this is a whole new setting for my videos, I'm at my grandfather's garden/backyard. He asked me to come and get some raspberries for myself. So of course I did that, and while I'm at it, I'm filming a video. Number 3, there's no right way to declutter. I think decluttering is a very personal journey or a habit, and what works for me might not work for you. So when it comes to the when, what, and how, there are no right or wrong answers. I think what is the most important thing is that you do it every now and then. And then while you're doing it, you have the self-awareness and learn what works for you. What is a method to do it that is really good for you, fits your schedule, fits your skills and your space, and what is something that maybe isn't working for you that you have tried. For example, some people prefer the KonMari method, so you are really feeling the things and you are organizing things perfectly, very nicely in your house, and some people just prefer like gradual reduction of things, and it doesn't matter if things don't look amazing. Setting some rules, like I explained in this video, of course helps, but don't see them as some type of law. Ultimately, decluttering is about creating a living space that makes you feel better, that makes you feel like a home, but there isn't still a lot of excess, a lot of clutter, a lot of things that you don't want to be in there. I don't know if somebody asked for a raspberry garden shot, but here I am now. Number 4, social situations become more challenging. Living in a consumerist society, I have noticed that sometimes when you are a minimalist, it's hard to deal with some social settings, some social situations and some conversations, because there's a big difference or big gap between the values. And realizing that 90% of people around me, or probably around us, are not minimalist. They are not thinking the same way we are. That has been quite eye-opening for me. I think in general people are quite the same, that we all want happiness, we all want to create something and live a meaningful life, but then how we go about it and what are the habits, what are the values, the big principles behind it, that can be quite different. I've had to decline some opportunities because they just simply didn't align with my values. So sometimes conversations can get a little bit awkward and you might feel weird because you're the only one thinking in a different way, but I guess that's just the price you pay for living authentically and aligned with your values. But overall, I would say despite all these challenges, minimalism has brought a lot of good things in my life, also socially. The 5th one is minimalist living feels surprisingly normal. I have gained a clearer understanding of what truly matters in my life and started to appreciate much more the possessions, the things that I have in my life, but still, my house, my home doesn't look like this. I think a common misconception about minimalism is that it must look like this if you want to be a minimalist, or that you live with close to nothing. But I think it's much more about the intentionality rather than the amount of things that you have or what your home or your life actually looks like. To the outside, I have to say I probably look like very normal, ordinary person. Only when we start to have a discussion and when we talk, you can start to understand my values and my views on life a little bit more. So for me, simplifying hasn't been about sacrificing anything essential or anything that I consider fun in my life. It hasn't been this radical departure from any daily routines or any career things or especially any interest that I have. And sometimes I wonder if there's a bee. Sometimes I wonder if I am actually a minimalist because I'm not living like a monk. But then I remember all the things that I am doing to live more simply and feel fulfilled knowing that my choices, the things that I'm doing in my life, have positive effects in my life and other people's life as well. For a specific roadmap to simplify your life, you can check out my course, Simple Life Blueprint, or I have also this free challenge if you want to challenge yourself. It's called Clear the Noise Challenge. It lasts 5 days. I will link both below in the description. The number 6 is that financial stability comes way sooner than expected. Probably. Here I want to say probably because it's not 100% of the cases that you become a minimalist and then you achieve financial stability or freedom or financial independence much quicker than anybody else. There are still many factors to it. But I have to say, I'm spending way less money now compared to what I was spending when I was 19 years old. So by consciously reducing the spending that I have, I've been able to save more money, and that has meant for me that I can, for example, make these videos even though my income isn't that high. So it has given me a lot more freedom. I'm not yet in a point in my life that I could say I'm financially fully safe or especially financially free or financially independent, but I know that I am exactly on the right path. I have the right mindset and very solid foundation because of minimalism. Number 7, knowing when to stop is key. I personally think that minimalism and mental health should go hand in hand. Of course, there are moments in life when you are simplifying, when you're letting go of something and you might feel uncomfortable because you are new to this and you are making maybe some lifestyle changes. But after a certain period of time, that should also change for the better. If you make lifestyle changes and nothing seems to go in a better way, nothing is really improving, especially mental health wise, I think you should check again what is your approach and reassess that and maybe reconsider some strategies, how you are going about minimalism and simplifying life. There may come a point in your journey that simplifying more may not give any more these benefits, but actually diminishing returns. For instance, constantly stressing about having too much, feeling that you should do more, you should get rid of these things, that's way too much, can cause a lot of anxiety. And in that case, I think it's better to just focus on other things than simplifying and minimalism. Part of this journey is doing it imperfectly. I also still have clutter. And I think I will always have clutter in my life, in my house, and that's completely fine. Constantly striving for the perfect minimalist life or the perfect minimalist aesthetic can actually stop you from enjoying life. So just keep that in mind. Hope you got some tips or inspiration from this video. The resources that I mentioned are linked below in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to stay kind and meaningful in your own beautiful journey. I will keep collecting these raspberries now. See you in the next one. Ciao.